right, guys, help me welcome our sticker panel panelists. Woo! We got Robots Will Kill, Chris RWK.
How you doing?
We got Nite Owl. All right, our man from the sticker movie himself,
Chili Willy.
Chili Willy.
Will Deloney.
Thank you. And then Boom Coffee.
We got She Posse, producer of Sticker Movie.
She Posse, wonderful. Excellent, thank you.
Agent 5 Smith, co-creator, writer, producer.
Excellent, Agent 5
Smith. Without her, none of this was possible.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for filling us in on that, too. Well, welcome. Thank you guys for joining us here on stage. Chris also is one of the main reasons why CollectedCon even happens. So we want to give him a big thank you and applause. So thank you, Chris.
Thank you, everybody, coming out.
All right. Well, why don't we come down the line? We could start down with you, and we introduce yourself. Tell us how you're involved. It sounds like you're the reason it all happened, which I love to hear. And tell us about that.
Hey, I'm Agent 5 Smith, aka Sherry Smith. I'm the co-creator with Will Deloney. This started as a COVID project and a DM on Instagram, and it just evolved over the last 5 years into this amazing, beautiful movement called Sticker Movie.
And my art name is She Posse, but my birth given name is Alicia Parrott. I joined the crew about 2 years into production. At the time, I was just learning about sticker community, so it was a deep, fast dive into this beautiful community. And I'm the co-producer.
I'm Will Deloney, director. I saw that Charisse, Agent 5 Smith, was a writer, and not the graffiti kind of writer, but a feature film writer. She has an amazing film called Strive. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Strive, S-T-R-I-V-E. And I knew that, like, in order to do a project like this, there had to be somebody with really strong writing skills. There was hundreds upon hundreds of pages of transcripts, and Charisse went through all of those and put together what Sticker Movie is. So it was a very tedious, long project, and yeah.
I'm Nite Owl, the one and only, often imitated, never duplicated. I am a recovering sticker addict. I think I'm going to relapse again.
Chris RWK. RWK stands for Robots Will Kill. Artist of many mediums. Stickers has definitely been an obsession since I was a kid. And so this is definitely a great project to get involved in.
And so, Chris, you're saying you've been doing stickers, and stickers have been part of your life all along. Tell us about your first introduction to stickers and what that experience was like.
Collecting stickers started out with, going to the grocery store and asking my mom for quarters for those little machines with the little cardboard sleeves. It didn't matter what kind of sticker it was, if it was a football team or the number one, the American number one image. And then it went into skateboards, punk rock music, and then graffiti stickers, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Excellent.
Yeah, very similar life story. Little known fact, we grew up about 10 minutes away from each other. I believe we got our stickers at the same A&P, the same quarter. But I think it really kicked off for me probably around the age of 6 or 7 with the BMX bikes, and put the cool number plate on the front, and put as many stickers as possible on it. And I mean, just kind of hooked on making stickers ever since.
Did you say you guys grew up together?
No.
Well, independently, but 10 minutes away from each other, yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
We actually didn't meet until
Way in adult life.
Yeah, like way into adult life. But then talking, we realized that we lived about 10 minutes away from each other on Staten Island. and we knew a lot of the same people like in the graffiti scene and stuff like that, but just never met.
Wow, that's amazing. On Staten Island, you're saying?
Yep.
Oh, that is so cool. Wow.
Pretty wild. Yep.
And a bit of your history with stickers and the sticker community.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, my aunt and uncle owned a Hallmark card gift shop, and there was always racks of stickers, and whenever I visited them, they would say, take whatever stickers you wanted. So that was really like my introduction to loving stickers. And then throughout my life, especially like post-college years, whenever I worked on a documentary or whatever podcast, whatever kind of project I was working on, I would make stickers. But then Chili Willy stickers started when I started making little micro stickers that were made to look like fingerboard stickers, like a tiny sticker that you would put on a skateboard, but it looks like on a fingerboard. So yeah, I've been doing that for a while.
Awesome.
Gosh, I don't have much of a different story. I think we're all 80s kids here, so you know, I rocked out the scratch and sniffs, like in the film, the puffies, the glitter, and just being reintroduced to stickers by this beautiful community as an adult just kind of takes me back to when I was a kid.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, same. And with like graffiti stickers, which is the subject of this film, I always used to take pictures of them, and it wasn't until about 10 years ago that I realized other people noticed them. I don't know, like I used to see these two guys, Chris and Nite Owl, and a bunch of people from their crew up in the city, and then I realized, wait, other people see this? Other people are noticing this? And so that's how I got into the community, with trading and buying and just sharing with other people the love for stickers in the street.
Where did you grow up as well?
Harlem,
Harlem. Nice.
New York City, uptown.
Is it all New York? You guys all? No.
I'm from New York
Originally.
Yeah.
I did a handful of years in New York, but yeah, I've got a New York hat on, so that counts.
Excellent. Very cool.
Honorary member.
Wonderful. And so your passion started just seeing them on the streets, photographing them, but you moved into writing. And was that a choice you did in school, or what was the process there?
Long story short, I've always been a writer. I think, you know, everyone on this panel, what we're doing, we've done like our whole lives. It's just channeling it as you get older in a way that's like acceptable, that turns into a career. The sticker movie I knew was going to happen, but I was on the heels of Strive and doing the festival circuit and everything. And movies take so much work. They're just so much work. And so when Will hit me up, I was like, great, somebody do this with me, because I'm not doing this by myself. So it was just organic. It just happened the right way.
Excellent. And same question to you as far as producing. How did that, your history with producing and how it led into sticker movie?
I had zero experience with producing. It was
First producing. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it was just a matter of me discovering the sticker community. I've always appreciated stickers on the streets, but I started making stickers on my own and just started going down a rabbit hole on Instagram and finding artists such as, you know, RWK and so I had seen on Instagram sticker movie. We're producing sticker movie. We're looking for help. So I simply DM'd and said, hey, how can I help? And I was labeled producer after making that first email or DM.
Yeah. And as director of the film, how much of it was footage you had accumulated yourself over time, or was a lot of it submitted? And then I imagine it was a lot of help creating the story and bringing it as a story together collaboratively as well.
Yeah, I'll say one more thing real quickly about She Posse. Like, we jumped into this thing, you know, not fully aware of how much this was going to be, how much work it was going to be, and just the quality of like stories that we were getting as people were sharing really personal things with us, and we realized pretty quickly like this is more than just about, talking about stickers on the backs of street signs. There's a lot here, mental health and trading and just the international community and how it relates to graffiti, all these different themes that play out in the movie. But so we were just completely swamped with like, we interviewed 88 artists in 22 different countries. Wow. There's 5 languages represented in the film. So I would like kick out transcripts and like, half of them are, Japanese interviews, and we're like trying to translate it. And then I'm like, here you go, like, see if that makes any sense at all. So we were just completely swamped. And then Sheep Posse is just this unstoppable force of energy. And she was like, how can I help? And like completely brought us out of the weeds and helped us fundraise, like, was an amazing partner on the fundraising front, was responsible for a very, big part of the financial fundraising we made. Charisse got us a grant that really helped us even afford post-production, because otherwise we would have just been like, okay, we know what we're supposed to do, but now like how do we get there? So, it was really a magical kind of like, because every time we would get to this point where we needed the next thing, like it would happen, and it was, very much on their ability to produce and make things happen. And so, the directing part of it was the easy part, where it's like making it stylized, make it look good, and like, how do we get from point A to point B, and what does Slappy look like, and just the fun creative part of like making it come to life is where I got to play a role.
That was Slappy was your creation.
No. Slappy was the brainchild of Jim Tazi, who did Wonder Shows and I always blank on his second show, but another Adult Swim show. And so he had this puppet in his closet, and this is a fairly interesting story. We made a cut of the film, and we did a test screening to an international audience, and basically we got all this feedback of like, this thing moves way too fast, I couldn't keep up with it, you're into one topic before I even realized what the previous topic was. So we realized we needed like a voice to the film to help kind of narrate and explain things, and like if we were to use, Shepard Fairey, it would become a Shepard Fairey film, and we didn't want it to become, a specific artist film. So I was like, what about a puppet? And everybody was like, that's a terrible idea, including Jim. Jim was like, why do you want me to ruin your movie? And I was like, I don't know, just give it a shot. So that's how Slappy came to be. And his name was Bubbles, and he had a Andy Warhol wig before he became Slappy. So the wig came off and Slappy was born.
I like how he turned out. I think it was a good move, personally. I think he really ended up being a solid hit. And your experience with the film, or I guess your involvement, tell me a bit about, you're in it, right?
I believe I caught some strays from Chris here.
Yeah, Chris talks about like how they've been trading since the 90s, and he was like, oh, that's scary to say. So what's interesting is Chris is East Coast, and now you're West Coast, and they trade stickers like madmen and get each other up. And so they kind of Chris talks about that in the movie, and we get to see Nite Owl's art a lot when he's talking about that.
Yeah, and I think I was the first person interviewed for the film, which was wild because I remember when you reached out, it was a COVID project, and it was like, it was great to talk to anybody, and then get to talk about that, the one thing I love for so long. It just was wild, and it was just an honor. And then, I just started giving as many names as I could that mattered in the scene, whether it was, El Toro, Bob, Nite Owl, just everybody and anybody that, was putting in work, has put in work, that really needed to have a voice in the film.
Yeah. And so we talked a little bit about how it started and your passion for stickers and just from the gas station or from the corner store. When did it become clear that you were going to start making your own, or when did that come into your own personal passion?
So I started doing graffiti when I was about 11, and stickers was something I would just do, like handmade stickers. Hello, my name is. Even like the labels that came with the VCR tapes, they'd have like you'd put the name of the movie. I'd catch tags on those to put up. And then... Were
you writing Robots Will Kill that early?
No, I had a bunch of different other tags and just kind of characters I would do over the years. The robot and everything took shape in the mid-'90s, but the name Robots Will Kill came around 99, 2000. But back when I was a kid, it was all handmade stickers. And then I was about 16. My father's friend was a printer, but he would print like business cards and stuff like that. And I asked him, I was like, can he do stickers? And he's like, I could see. And I did a whole bunch of these straight edge stickers. And they were all like that raised, like an embossed font, because he wasn't printing vinyl stickers. He was printing just, BS labels. So after that, that's when I kind of I got the bug to do like mass-produced ones. So I would do stencils and, photocopied stickers at Kinko's and all those kind of things. And then when I was finally able to afford printed stickers, I started running like one or two color vinyl screen printed through a friend's company. And that was like around 95.
And same question to you. When did it transition from just collecting to realize that could be a passion of your own or something you wanted to get into?
Probably like in my teenage years where, it was really more about efficiency for me. Like, I started traveling a lot and like you can't really get paint in a lot of countries and cities. So it was just easier to sit at home and just rock a few hundred stickers by hand, put them in your bag, and whenever you touch down somewhere, you just start unloading.
What was getting you traveling back then?
Just to travel.
Just to go visit?
Yeah, just like traveling.
Yeah, where were you heading first? Like, what were some of your first destinations you wanted to get?
Paris. Well, outside the country was Paris, but pretty much up and down the East Coast, and then...
Did you already have connections in Paris and
No.
in Europe that were... No, you just landed...
I always just wing it. I just go and you figure it out.
Was there any sort of concern or worry having a bag full of pre-made labels? You just threw them in and you said, X-rayed, I don't care?
You think about it, but like seriously, like customs guys aren't looking for your stickers or...
What does that even look like on an X-ray?
Well,
They're looking for drugs, not stickers,
No, every time I go and I have a block of stickers with me, they always stop me because the X-ray machine can't get through them.
Oh, okay.
So they pull them from the bag and they look at them and they go, and they look at me and I'm like, stickers?
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah, like as long as it's not like a block of cocaine, they're cool with it, Like.
Wow. And so, on a trip like that to Paris, your first time, how many would you say you took, and how many did you put up?
Definitely not enough. I probably just a few hundred, and then from there, like now, I don't go anywhere without at least like 5,000 for like 5 days. Like,
wow, that's great.
When you're in a new city, you can find a lot of spots.
Yeah, wonderful. And you guys were putting up stickers as well. I mean, what was from that early inspiration with corner store stickers to making your own? When did that click and start happening for you as well?
I was making the tiny little fingerboard stickers, and I love mail. And so, like, at the time, I was just, like, trading fingerboard stuff with people, and then, like, the stickers became more and more of a thing and just evolved into, like, all different sizes and bigger and bigger and bigger. I always promised myself I wasn't going to do wheat paste, and now I'm doing that. But it got to the point where I was just like, I had all of my own stickers. I kind of knew, like, okay, if I trade with somebody, I feel comfortable in that, like, I know what I'm supposed to do. I feel good about, like, what I'm sending. And so like once I got to that phase, I just like leaned into it hard, where I was like, all right, this is my thing. This is my jam.
So how I got into making my own stickers kind of happened organically. Several years ago, I was on Shepard Fairey's Discord, and everybody is anonymous there. Everybody has their own, little profile names and whatnot. So in those chats, I was consistently being referred to as bro, dude, he, him. And so it just brought to my attention that it's assumed if you're in this street art community that you must be a guy. So the name She Posse came about because I just, I was tired of consistently being referred to as a guy, and I just wrote like, where's my She Posse at? So in Discord, several other people who identify as female started popping up and chiming in. And so, of course, since Shepard Fairey, he has a love of stickers too. I decided to make my own stickers after that name was born.
Yeah. Down for you as well?
Yeah, real quick. Stickers are meant to be stuck somewhere, right? So uptown where I live, there weren't a lot of what I call combos, which are just like madness that I like of a bunch of artists. So I would make them and just put everyone up until people started being like, oh, it's okay to do this. And so, there were always artists there like Snowman and Cynic and some others uptown, but that was really the impetus for that. Real quick, I just want to we glaze past that. This movie would not be what it is without Chris.
Woo!
That's serious.
Give it up.
So, I'm sorry, but it's true. He was the first interview. That interview was over 2 hours. We had no idea where this movie was going. We asked him everything under the sun. 2% got into the film. He was so gracious. A lot of people said no. Chris is Chris. And so he said yes and had the patience to talk to us for that freaking long when we didn't know what we wanted to do. Not only that, our first New York premiere was because of Chris. He hooked us up with this amazing place, Brooklyn Art House. And on his good word, they worked with us. And then now full circle today, hello. So I just want to really he's mad humble, but this film would not be what it is without the angel of this film, which is Chris RWK.
Let's hoist him on our shoulders. Come on, Chris.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
That's wonderful. And
He's blushing.
a wealth of knowledge as well. Every time I've got to talk with you, it feels like you're an almanac. You know it. You know it all. So thank you for mentioning that as well. And
He can't figure out the California weather, though.
No, that I can't. I can. So it's a hoodie and shorts, I think.
so even Shepard Fairey got his start out on the East Coast as well. In the sticker, it sounds like there's so much history in New York and along the East Coast with stickers. As you started traveling, were you expecting or surprised to see stickers when you came out to the West Coast or Paris or wherever it was? Or
Absolutely.
Did you? Yeah.
It was a funny story. I was back in architecture school and had a friend. It was junior year. He went out to Risley to visit a friend over Easter break. Came back, handing me my first Andre Has a Posse sticker. No clue what it was. Whatever, silly. Liked Andre the Giant.
What year
cool.
was that? Do you remember?
Shit, it was 94 or 95. Guess I'm dating myself too. Shit. But then just a couple of years later after that, I'm out in LA, and sure enough, you start seeing the Obey Posse stickers all over the place. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
It's the stuff I knew from years earlier.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah. Small world.
Yeah. Even just going around LA now, you still see them up and you still see them
So
around.
when I moved to San Diego in '99, and Shepard was still based in San Diego. He hadn't gotten to LA yet. And I remember every street pole had a different Obey sticker. I was one of those jackasses that would have to peel one off and go home and put it on my fridge. And all my friends had no clue what the hell was going on, but the fridge had 50 different designs. And that's actually what got me into having them printed out as opposed to doing hand-drawn ones.
Was seeing Shepard's work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so cool you got him in the film as well because, yeah, he's an icon. He's been able to do it everywhere and anywhere, and it's just so impressive. So, very cool. And Chris, so there's, we've talked a little bit about your inspiration with stickers and then how it evolved into you making your own. And then in the film, there's a lot of talk about sticker trades. What was your experience like early on in those days, and how has that continued as far as like sharing and that growing that sharing community, the sticker trading?
So the first sticker trade I did was in '95. MCA Evil Designs. I was at FIT in Manhattan, and I was sitting there, and I was drawing on a bunch of stickers, and this girl in the class, she goes, "Oh, you do stickers?" I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "Oh, a friend of mine makes stickers. You should send him some." So she gave me his P.O. box, and I mailed him a pack of stickers, and about a month later...
Hand-drawn? These were
all hand-drawn, yeah, at the time, yeah. About a month later, I got this big fat pack from MCA. I still have it, actually. It was one of the only envelopes I've kept all these years. So we started trading in '95, and we literally just released our 30-plus year collab last 2 months ago.
Wow.
And then, after that, sticker trading in like the early 2000s, late 90s, because the sticker scene in New York, the sticker scene in general, really didn't blow up in the States until the mid-2000s. Stickers overseas in like England and the UK and just all those places were big. You had a lot of people like Jetpack and D-Face and all those guys doing stickers. So I would trade with them because they were doing it and it was taken a lot more seriously and stuff. So we would do trades, and back then trades were great because people would actually put the stickers up. And it was actually, I'd send stuff to him in Boston, he'd put them up in Boston, I'd put them in New York, and it would just kind of grow. And, with launching the website in 2001, I made a lot of connections because that was a lot of, like, Robots Will Kill launched in 2001, which we focused on all kinds of mediums that people didn't care about. Stickers was one of them. And we did a whole bunch of trades, and it was great. And we would start doing collaborations, and I remember collaborating with guys like El Toro and Bob back in like 04, 03 in like Fortress overseas. And, collaborations were not really a big, people really didn't think of it. For me, I was like, it makes sense, we collaborate, we make one sticker, we're both on it. Now it's not like us putting up two different stickers, it's one sticker. So after that, like, the collaborations became a huge thing, and the trades just became like more and more, and they were great for a long time.
Intentionally leaving room on one side,
Yeah.
or one part, and it was just, you knew that's what the other side was for.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you just leave the, especially it was mostly postal labels because they were free, and we would do half, and the other person would either do something in a similar style or similar colors, or just do what they do, and then now we each can get up in one sticker, not 5 different stickers, whatever. So that was great. I loved trading back then. It slowed down because people would either not return trades, or the stickers would go in a shoebox or whatever.
Yeah, people would start keeping them, I'm sure,
Yeah.
after a while.
Well, it became like trading cards. People like, "Oh, I'll trade you one Chris RWK for 2 blah blah blah."
Wow.
Well, hold on. Let me
Black
get this straight. What we've learned so far is that Nite Owl was a sticker stealer. You took
Guilty.
Shepherd Ferry stickers and have a fridge full of Obey stickers. But then the second thing is Chris's first sticker trade. You just kept them all and didn't put any of them up.
No, he got the envelope.
I kept the envelope.
Just the envelope.
Oh, he kept the envelope.
I clearly
All right.
said the envelope.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
Getting
I
shamed
was like getting scared, but okay.
Tell me about your experience, Nite Owl, as far as like the first sticker trades, or if that was ever a big part of your experience.
I mean, I can't remember who the first trade was. I definitely have a love-hate
Did you consider
relationship.
that was trading with Shepherd? You're just
Well, I mean, I did give him stickers back.
okay, good,
but,
good.
No, I mean, don't remember who the first one was, but I definitely have like a love-hate relationship with sticker trades. Like, I love trading with artists and people I like look up to and respect and admire their work. But then, like, my DMs are full. Like, I get just bombarded with DMs like, hey, send me sticker. Like, can you at least, like, say I like your work, throw me a compliment or something? And same thing where, like, I've been scammed a lot where people, you send them like 100 stickers and you get nothing in return. They don't even, like, share them with other artists or whatever. And you're just like,
Yeah, then at that point, yeah.
it kind of sours you, but
Yeah.
then, you know, again, you link up with someone you like and you kind of get inspired to do it again, and, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, you eventually have to pick and choose and decide
Exactly.
who you want to share that experience with. Yeah.
And that's when the mass-produced ones come in handy, because
Exactly.
it's easier to send those than a million hand-drums, because you know, it's a lot quicker.
And now that there's like a Venmo or whatever, you're like, yeah, you know how to send a little postage my way. Let's make it worthwhile.
And
Huh?
no one does that.
And your experience, did you guys doing sticker trades as well? Did that become a part of your experience, or?
No, I love trading. I learned how to put together a pack properly. There's an art to it. There is. From I Will Not. Shout out to I Will Not. He does the Fridge Sticker Show. Big homie. And just, it's the joy of it. You know, my love language is gifts. So I love getting stickers. I never turn it down. I'm like 4 months behind on trades right now. But I always send. And just knowing, you know, having the respect to actually put them up. Let people know you got them, for God's sakes. You know, just be grateful that, you know, that this is available. It's not regulated. We regulate it ourselves, and it will stay that way, knock on wood. And it's just a beautiful way to get your art around the city and discover new artists. Keep it going.
Yeah, I love it. That's wonderful. Let's talk a little bit about the film again, and we've heard a bit about how it was made. What's the future? What's the next steps? Where are we taking it? And how are we going to continue to share it? I know you sent me a link and a password. How are people going to find it themselves? What's the plan?
So we premiered this film October 2023, and since then I think we're close to 20 screenings now.
Wow, great.
Yeah, roughly around there, maybe more than 20. Like, especially if you count like in Japan, they'll show it in galleries, and Vlad shows it all the time.
So win Netflix.
Well, man, that's what we want. Like, we want to get to like a streaming platform so that as many people as possible can see it. I mean, it's a very punk rock DIY type of film. You know, very much. There's plenty of copyrighted material that's in there, but we would love to be on Netflix or, you know, Hulu. Give us a streamer. And so, you know, right now we have it's our own streaming platform where you can go and you can buy it or rent it and then watch it on any of your devices. And our hope was that, like, we could kind of get to the next step, because like distribution's like, okay, once you get to this level, then you can like do Amazon, and then you open up to possible Hulu. We had a sales agent for a while that tried to help us, but and you know, we are going to continue doing things like this, and maybe one day we'll meet the right executive that likes stickers. Stickermovie.com. Thank you, agent.
Stickermovie.com.
Stickermovie.com. Now it's my screensaver that says Daniel Craig, but a second ago it had stickermovie.com, and you'll see Slappy pointing to watch it now. So yeah, tell your friends.
We've at each of these panels, we've offered the opportunity for anyone in the audience to come up and ask any questions if there's anyone out there, and it's also inspired each other. Panelists, if you guys have any questions for each other or conversations you might have had that you want to make sure we touch on while we're on stage and chatting, if there's anything you guys want to make sure we touch on. Anyone in the crowd? Yeah, come on up. Hey, what's your name?
Yeah, Patrick. Patrick. Hey, everybody. Thanks for the chat. So you talk about getting stickers at the grocery store when you're a kid. You talk about being a kid of the 80s. Me too. Probably all of us. It seems like back then there was a culture of scarcity with stickers where they were very special. You had to be very judicious with where you stuck them, who you traded with. At least I think. I don't know. Over the past 30 years, that seems to have changed. It seems like there's been an ethos where it's like anyone can make stickers. You got to put them up, get seen. I don't even know if you would agree with this, but I'm curious what you think. Like, is that purely a good thing? Do you miss the old days when stickers were a little more special?
They're still special.
Great question. Yeah.
There's definitely ones that I have that I either haven't stuck because there's not the perfect spot yet, but those are more like, the collectible ones. The ones that I make personally, I usually keep one of each design, but the rest gets put somewhere,
That's the same thing. I've got a little personal archive of every collab I've ever done, everything I've ever printed. I call it my vanity bag. It sits in there. Something I say, one of the things that really got me inspired to just kind of switch from just straight graffiti stickers into being a little more artistic is I'd come back to New York City, go visit my mom, and I'd roll around Manhattan, and two artists always stuck out. One was Chris, and the other was Red-Nosed Dog Boy. And both of these two, the stickers are so different from everyone else out there that I'd go back home all right, we're gonna take Nite Owl to another level, another dimension, really get a little artsy and have some fun with it and kind of, interact with the people. Because what I also learned was stickers, when you do graffiti, you do this big piece, it just kind of hits people over the head and you're hitting everyone. But with stickers, it's this intimate thing that only certain people see. 1 million people may walk by it, but 10 people see it and it really hits them. You kind of connect with people on a different level. And also, I'm still very judicious about where I put my stickers. I tend to overthink spots and this is the wrong sticker for this spot, and now I'm going to go home and get another one and come back and march it in my
What are
head.
those considerations?
What's that?
What do you feel like it because the
one's visibility, do I want it to be seen from 2 blocks away, or do I want you to have to walk up and look at it? Stuff like that. If you're in the airport, I've got different stickers for the airport than I do outside. I've got stickers for on the bus, and there's stuff you get bigger 6 to 8 inches that you're going to get for people driving by in cars and stuff.
I see. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
I want to take a shot at answering his question too, because as kids that grew up in the 80s, I think we can all admit that humankind peaked in the 90s. And everything is going to get shittier from here on out. But seriously, we're at this time where AI is a thing where you can shit out a sticker in seconds, and we're also in this time where guerrilla marketing is super cool. I live in Austin, and South by Southwest happened a couple of weeks ago, and just the number of boutique-y, shitty wheat paste posters that went up in a matter of days. But what I would like to believe is that it's up to us, the group up stage up here and the people that we are friends with, and then we're inviting new people in. I'm hoping that we can be the tastemakers that are in the streets that get to police the shitty stuff. And the people that are just really quickly, there was a dating app that just plastered Austin, probably over 100,000 stickers just all over the place, and they just went over everything. And so, me personally, I know that I took down at least 10,000 of those stickers. And so it's that, here's the kicker. The dating app was a QR code, and when you scanned it, the app didn't even work. So it was just maddening. And that's what I mean, but so it's up to the people in the street. It's very democratic. You can do whatever you want, but it's gonna get a reaction, and that reaction may be positive, it may be negative, and hopefully there's a group of tastemakers that can at least halfway police it, but we'll see.
Yeah. Excellent. Thanks. Great question. I appreciate that. Great. Yeah, right? You know, and I think in this new age where, you know, we're all seeing the art show on our phone, we're all seeing you know, everyone's art in any fashion, we're seeing everyone's toys online, we're seeing everything just on our phones, like walking the streets. And I'm fortunate enough to travel a lot, and when I see a sticker I recognize while I'm in Japan, it feels so real and so special. And if it's someone I know or someone I've met along the way, and so I love it. I've always felt that way. And Tara, my wife, we put stickers up as we travel, and they get taken down that night almost every single time. And it's also kind of like, well, you're giving it to the community anyways. So when it goes up and it comes back down, and someone comes to the art show that we're in town for, and they tell us that they've taken it down, it's like, well, yeah, you found the golden nugget. You did. That's fun. So that's one aspect that I've always loved about stickers, and what was exciting about the film for me is I've had my personal experience seeing them up and all over. And I mean, seeing your work when I lived in Brooklyn, and just seeing your work all over New York and going, oh, wow, I know him now. And so it's been a treat for me as well. So any final thoughts you guys want to share, or anything you want to, you know, if you want to go down the line and say any final thoughts, I'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, real simple. Thank you for having us. This was amazing. This con is amazing. You all should be really proud of what you've created. Thank you.
Chris!
Basically.
If you want a poster or stickers, booth 705, come say what's up. And yeah, thanks to Chris and the team for making this happen.
Woo!
It's
Give
been
it
fun.
up again. They deserve it 10 times over.
Streets are a gallery, and they're going to stay that way as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep putting them up until I can't walk.
Thank you for everybody. Thank you for including me in the movie. Thank you for everybody coming out to the convention. I guess my next question would be part 2, or leftover footage, archive
Deluxe
footage.
edition.
Chopping
Yeah.
floor, right?
So to answer your question you asked earlier, like how much footage, like so artists, we did an open call and people just started like dumping videos into Google Drive folders, and like, you know, we have a ton of footage. We have hours upon hours of interviews. I mean, we would love to do it. We just need, you know, like I said, the right executive that wants to drop a little money on it. We'll do it.
You're in LA.
Yeah, yeah.
Ted Sarandos is down the block.
Right.
Yeah. Well, excellent. Let's give them one more round of applause. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank
Give
you.
each other a round of applause. Appreciate it. Give yourselves a round of applause. Thanks for coming and enjoying that with us. Thank you, guys. All right. Let's. Well, we're done.
Make some stickers.
Thank you.
Yeah, put up some stickers. Get inspired. Put up your own stickers too. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.